a molar concentration of sodium chloride. What we did earlier in class is I showed you the calculations how to make 250 milliliters of the 2.5 molar solution. So now we're going to actually make it. So I need to have a certain amount of grams of my sodium chloride, which is the salt I have in my hand here. I need 36.53 grams. So I'm going to turn on my scale. Justin can come over here and get on the scale here so we can watch it. I'm going to put a measuring dish on the scale. The measuring dish measures out 5.64. Now I'm going to zero the scale, so now it's not reading the effect of the measuring dish on the scale. So when I'm adding my salt, I know that the only thing that's being measured is the salt. So now I need to add 36.53 grams. I'm going to get as close as possible as I can to that. I probably am not going to hit it exactly, but I hope I can get pretty close to it. 36.53 is what I said. I'm going to add it a little slower now. 34, 35, 36, there we go. I hit it pretty good. So now I have my mass of the salt. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add the salt into a 250 milliliter volumetric flask. Now the idea with the volumetric flask is you can see it says 250. It has a line right here. I don't know if you can see that line, but there's a real dim line that measures out where exactly 250 milliliters are. I'm going to take my 250 milliliter. Well, that's too big for that, so I need to get a different funnel. My different funnel will fit right in there. All I'm using the funnel for is so I don't spill the salt. So as I get the salt in there, okay, and then I'm going to add distilled water in there. At first, I'm going to take the distilled water and pour it to make sure that I get all of the salt. Okay, make sure that there's no salt stuck into the funnel or now I haven't filled it totally up to the line yet, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to dissolve this by putting the cap on it, and I'm just inverting my volumetric flask. As I'm inverting my volumetric flask, my salt is dissolving into the distilled water. So if I've inverted it a few times, okay, you can see that it's a little cloudy color in there, isn't it? Okay, so it's a little cloudier color than what the distilled water is. But as I'm looking, I don't see too many salt particles in there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add more distilled water into my volumetric until I'm very close to the line. Okay, and finally my finishing touches is I'm going to pipette. I'm going to pipette until I get to the line. Once again, I fill to the line. I have a little bit of bubbling going on here, so I'm going to wait until that gas escapes from, and that's probably what the little grayish color was that we saw when I was inverting it. It was a little gas being released. So as you can see, can you see it, Justin? And can let them see it. It's clearing up a little bit. All right. So my liquid's clearing up a little bit. We're letting that gas escape, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just add to the line. I'm going to cap it, and I'm going to once again mix it a little bit, just because I added some new water in there, some new distilled water. So I mix it a little bit, okay? And I look and I say, okay, now I have just created a 2.5 molar sodium chloride solution. This is Mr. Braun. Let's investigate.